It's Luke and Naomi.
I want to do Are You Listening Closely? Instead of Are You Watching Closely? Because episode 90, Luke and Naomi on air, The Prestige.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to this one. A couple of twists and turns along the way, but welcome to episode 90. Luke and Naomi on air featuring Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I am Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn.
Hey.
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 Hey, we got a toll in the mail from West Virginia when we took our big long trip.
Why'd you have to bring it up?
And they're trying to charge us like $40 for a $4 toll. Let me do this because
Okay.
you're just gonna break all the stuff. You're just gonna get so fired up again. And
I've never been so angry about a stupid toll. First of all, I frickin' paid it. I paid it on the way back so we didn't get hit with any late fees or any of the other stupid things that happen when you have to pay toll roads now. Because, by the way, West Virginia is the only place in the United States that still have people working in toll booths.
but they have the toll booths and you have to pay in cash.
You have to
or
pay in cash,
You
yes.
pay online and get charged $40. I don't know if maybe they, it's a clerical error. They're switching to systems or something like that. But yeah, we got it in the and we got it sent to my workplace too, which is just a weird thing. It has both our names on it and sent to my office, and it's like
We don't
that's
live there?
odd.
Yeah.
So yeah, then
Hang on.
$40.
The
Hang on.
toll is $4.25.
And then-
Maybe $4.75.
All right, call it $5
Yeah. There is a $25 administrative fee
because
on this.
why not?
Because 25
West Virginia,
frickin' dollars.
the Airbnb of toll roads.
Also, a $10 notice fee because they had to send me a piece of paper in the mail, I guess.
Yeah, $10. I know how
What
much
the hell?
a stamp cost, shipping and stuff like that. That's postage. That's what I'm trying to come up with. I know how much that costs. That's nonsense.
I have never been so mad about a toll that I have gotten. I'm mad at West Virginia, the entire state right now.
I know we had a beautiful drive through West Virginia. It was great.
Now I hate it. I never want to go back to that state.
Well, guess what?
Blacklisted.
We probably never really would anyway. No. So there you go, West Virginia. You're on the shit list.
Thanks a lot.
West Virginia and Tinkerbell, just persona non grata on
That's
Luke and
right.
Naomi on air.
It
So,
just like ruined my evening.
absolutely.
You know?
If we didn't talk about it, she would have just stewed all through the episode.
Yeah, this would have been really bad because I'd just be cranky
And
sitting over
the thing
here.
is, I'm normally the one who flies off the handle and just gets irrationally mad. But at this time, I'm
this
just
is
like,
not irrational. We're talking a $5 to $40 difference.
mad at, nothing in particular. An
The toll
abstract
booth worker.
situation that you can't change or handle or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's
guess.
usually me. Anyway,
Yes.
either way, that's usually the seat I'm sitting in. So.
Which I'm just bummed. I don't want to be mad. I'm really excited for the movie, to do the review, the Prestige. Like, I'm really looking forward to the show that we're doing. I'm just a little cranky. That's all.
So, buckle up for an excellent review of The Prestige. We'll find out who Naomi's gonna just holler right at, and I have an idea or two, but we'll get into that in just a little bit.
I'll behave this time. I hollered at the toll booth workers. I got it out.
If you are new to the show and still listening,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's right.
That's wonderful. So anyway, we relive movies. Well, I do. I relive movies that Naomi's never seen. Naomi watches movies that nobody has ever seen.
Everybody's seen them.
Yeah, I'm absolutely backwards on that. Yeah, so
I watch movies that everybody has already seen, like Ghostbusters and Tombstone, and all those movies that everybody grew up watching that, for whatever reason, I never did.
that's right. So,
and then I review them.
you can relive your first watch through Naomi's eyes. That's
That's right.
That's what I was trying to sputter out there.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 90. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it sometimes, you know?
Prestige review coming up in just a little bit. I know there was a twist or turn that I'm pretty sure caught Naomi off guard. I think she was waiting for one thing and just got walloped with something else at one point, but we'll
You'll
find
see.
out
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Sips and Snacks, we threw up the other day onto the YouTube channel. Again, if you're subscribed, you got a notification, so you can do that. We surprised Ashley Rogers at Fermental with some Funyuns.
That's right.
He had no idea. Normally, we give him plenty of time to find a pairing. This
Yeah.
time we gave him 5 whole minutes.
That's right. And he, was able to find a beer within those 5 minutes.
Did good,
and,
too.
Yeah. Which I was surprised because, again, Funyuns is onion flavored.
You really thought that was going to be a tough one for him.
I thought so. I don't want onion flavored beer.
At one point,
Like, how can you make that complement each other?
he asked, if we were trying to stump him, and it's like, not necessarily. We were just coming up with
No, but
something that wouldn't be the easiest.
Yeah. I thought it would have been a little bit more difficult.
Didn't take him very long at all.
No.
He thought we were coming with some sort of chocolate or whatever. But
Yeah.
you can check it out for yourself right on the YouTube page, Sips and Snacks Funyuns, the Funyuns Surprise.
That's right.
It's an excellent title.
I'm looking forward to doing some fast food snacks coming up shortly here.
We've got some cool ones coming up. And, of course, we're getting back into fall. And maybe we do another Turkey Changa,
Oh, we have
the
to.
Wilmington staple.
Yes.
That's that should be fun. But anyway, check that out. Give us that subscribe to if you wouldn't mind, so that you get the
right.
notifications when we drop all kinds of new stuff, including Naomi yelling about tolls.
I will try to keep it to myself.
So last week we were actually kind of both yelling about the whole Disney situation,
Oh, yeah.
and
All that drama.
Disney pretty much backpedaled, said they're going to work with the family. They're going to settle out of court, like you called, by the way.
Good.
But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the story, unfortunately, somebody died in the situation. The woman died at the Disney restaurant. She was allergic to stuff. They said that that stuff wasn't in the food. She ate it. It apparently was. Sadly, she passed away.
Yeah.
The dude's trying to sue for, some sort of medical damages. And the lawsuit says $50K at least, but nobody knows exactly how much.
Yeah.
And Disney was like, no, because you signed up for Disney Plus free trial in 2019.
Yeah.
And there was a stipulation in that said any complaints against the company have to go through like some sort of arbitration or whatever. They can't go to court.
Right.
And they tried to hide behind that. And then when it blew up, of course, they're all like, no, hold on. Hold on. We'll take care of, hold on. Everybody calm down.
Because it was turning into a PR nightmare.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the memes were, and again, somebody died in this situation, which sucks because everything becomes a meme now. But some of the memes were just wonderfully great at taking down Disney.
But I do like this guy fighting about this because, fight the power, fight
That's
the big
right.
corporations that do all this crap.
That's right. And
Like, I'm not
that's
trying to
just-
get on a soapbox here, but,
Like-
it gets annoying.
And just, I know Disney, it's the machine, and they, they're big and all that stuff. But like, you can't tell me that there's not at least one person, the tip of the spear, the first person that's encountering this guy, looking at the situation, going, "Oh, we can't hide behind that clause in this situation." Like, again,
There's probably a
it's
couple
Disney.
people.
Somebody's got to have the power there before it gets all the way to national news to go, "Hey, listen, we got to take care of this in a different way."
Somebody probably does, and they're
That's
like,
crazy.
"Oh man, we gotta do right by this," and then somebody else is going, "No, we have to follow procedure. We're not doing anything."
Yeah, there's some cold-hearted asshole sitting there somewhere just going, "No, all I can think of is The Incredibles." That's like the insurance situation in The Incredibles.
Yeah.
That sends Mr. Incredible over the edge, and then they have to go in hiding again. And the movie starts.
Yeah.
Crazy. But at least they are going to take care of this dude, hopefully. But they're definitely backing down from that whole vitriol that they caused.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Which is good because I don't want to start yelling about that. I know I had to wait until October. I don't want to yell every single episode. It just kind of happens.
90 episodes of it.
Yeah.
That's right. Not
Something
really,
gets
not
me
really.
fired up at one point or another.
Watch Hook. That was a great one. There wasn't any yelling there, except for
No.
me hollering, Rufio and Bangarang and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of
There's a couple
insurance,
episodes I don't yell.
that's right. Speaking of insurance, this is a good one.
Are you trying to get me to yell?
No,
Insurance.
Nationwide every year does this. We've talked about this for I think a couple of years running now. Nationwide does the Hambone Award every year,
Okay.
which is the strangest pet insurance claim of the year.
Okay, I do like this. Yes. What
It's-
do we got?
It's the 16th year Nationwide has done it. We've probably done this 4 or 5 years at least. It's got to be. So, last year's winner, by the way, was a cat named Giles, who needed stitches after being folded into a sofa bed.
Oh no!
This year's
poor
list of-
kitty.
All of the animals are okay, first of all, by the way, and we're not laughing that they got hurt because most of them didn't really get hurt. They're just dumb. And,
Yeah.
whatever. And you picture the situation, you'll know. This year's finalists, very dog heavy, 1 parrot, but no cats.
Okay.
So the 8 nominees are a Great Dane in Oregon named Sky, who fought a weasel and lost.
Aw.
Made a full recovery. The weasel bit him in the eyelid.
Ooh, gross.
Of all the planets, a Great Dane. Do you know Great Dane? They're all, floppy and...
Yeah.
Anyway. Luca is a dog in Massachusetts that ripped into the trash and ate a corn cob.
Ooh.
Corn cobs can cause intestinal blockages in dogs or humans, by the way. So don't eat corn cobs.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
The dog is okay, but that's, the wacky pet insurance claim.
Yeah.
Lambo is a lab mix in North Carolina, ate 250 jigsaw puzzle pieces.
Oh, that can't be healthy.
Yeah,
All the pieces are missing.
the corners and edges had already been assembled, so they had like the border together, so he only ate middle pieces.
Oh, okay.
So there. I don't know why they included that, but just so you know.
Maybe they're thinking of like the brownie idea, where some people like the corner pieces and some people like the middle pieces.
The insurance
This
didn't have to
dog likes
replace the
middle.
puzzle because he didn't eat the border.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There.
What are
Cody-
they, Disney?
Kodiak's the dog in Virginia that just won't stop eating rocks.
That's fantastic. That dog needs to win right there.
I'm laughing at how damn frustrating that's got to be when you just got to. I mean, you've had dogs, pets, cats. We've all had.
Spit it out.
Yes,
Spit it out.
Just won't stop eating whatever it is. But rocks, it's like, oh my God, you're killing me. That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
Eating rocks. All right.
She had to have 4 removed from her stomach a few years back, and then ate 2 more.
Tasty.
Irma's the dog in Florida. They had to go on a high fiber diet after eating tiny pieces of metal.
Oh my gosh.
They think she ate a wire grill brush.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So a high fiber diet. That's just crazy. Clover's the parrot. The parrot is in New Jersey. Got her claws tangled up like if you tied someone's shoelaces together.
Okay.
Yeah, a vet had to untangle them.
That's weird.
That's
That's just weird altogether.
How does that happen at all?
I don't know.
That's
I don't
number
like that.
3 on the list, by the way.
I feel like the rocks one should have been number 1. Like, that was just fantastic.
Dumb as rocks and full of them, too.
Yep.
Let me see. Bear is the corgi in Pennsylvania. Chewed a bottle.
Wait. A corgi?
Yes, a corgi named Bear.
Named
of
Bear.
course. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Chewed on a bottle of nail adhesive.
Oh my gosh.
And luckily it wasn't toxic, but, probably got its mouth. It doesn't even say, like, if it got its mouth stuck together, but you have to imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That would be... It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
And Archie's a dog in New Jersey that got so excited that the mailman was there that jumped up on the glass door and broke through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
he needed stitches on his paws.
Aw,
but
poor
again,
puppy.
everybody is okay. The winner is supposed to be announced tomorrow, which would be Tuesday. So next episode, we will hopefully have the winner.
It's got to be the rock-eating dog. It has to be. That was
Hambone.
the best one.
I think so.
And I feel so bad for the owners because, like you said, how many times are you going to chase your dog around, spit it out, and it just swallows a rock? And you're like, all right, we got to go back to the vet because you're not going to pass this
It's
thing.
an indoor dog now because she won't stop eating rocks.
Oh, man, you got to keep all the planters away. All of
And
that
somehow
kind of
it's
stuff.
funnier to me that it's a girl dog too, because like when I don't know, when a girl dog's dumb as hell, it's even funnier.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about, but it just is because I've only known mostly dopey male dogs. That's
yeah,
how,
now that you say that, yeah.
you know what I mean. I've never. So it just makes me laugh even harder because it's
Okay.
like, wait, okay, all right. Anyway, we'll have the winners of that hopefully for you next episode. I love that. Nationwide Pet Insurance is where if you want to go look for yourself or check out all the nominations and stuff like that. When you have a friend who's super late, we're not bad, are we?
We're not too bad.
Like as a couple,
We
I
like
think
to be
like, we're okay.
fashionably late.
Yeah, that's what we say.
But
know.
if like people are making plans specifically around us, I feel bad because we are late.
I mean, we don't even have a pet to blame it on or anything like
It's
that.
just us.
As a person, I was probably always late.
I can see
to
that.
friend stuff
Yes.
as a person. As a single person, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not a person anymore. Half a
That's right.
person.
I took that away from you.
That's right.
All right, get on with what we're talking about.
There's a TikTok that's going viral of a girl who shows up to a dinner reservation to meet her friends at 8 o'clock, only to find out the reservation was for 8:30.
Okay.
They told her 8 o'clock because she always shows up late. Guess what time she showed up?
It's going to be like 8:15, 8:20.
8:22.
Yeah.
And so she made a TikTok where it was like, so this happened to me. And now like people are arguing if that's, rude or not.
No, it's absolutely okay. If you are always waiting for that person and they are that late, absolutely tell them a different time. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure here. If you're like, hey, dinner's at 7 and they're not going to show up until 7:30, you're just hurting yourself there.
Yeah, exactly. I have
Why
to
not
agree with this.
bend the rules or
But
whatever?
Some people are like questioning the ethical standpoint. Is it okay?
Oh, come on.
One person weighed in and said that they called themselves an expert, which I'm tired. Everybody on TikTok's a freaking expert.
Yeah.
They weighed in and said it's best to avoid lying. Like that's
okay.
maybe a lie,
Okay.
maybe some sort of deception. But you know what? It's best to avoid me punching you in the mouth because you're a half an hour late.
And I was hungry and
would never
needed
do
to
that.
order food. But we couldn't order yet because you take your
Yeah.
sweet time getting ready.
Or it's just like, hey man, we ate without you.
Yeah.
I know this situation is 22 minutes, but still, if they had said they were going to eat at 8, be here at 8, and she showed up at 8:22, no. But they were smart. I think that's genius.
Especially what time it is. 8:22, that's late. It's past dinner time.
That's right.
I'm hungry.
That's right.
I'm not going to wait for you. I will either eat without you or tell you a little lie about what time to meet at the restaurant so that you show up at the correct time.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Then the thing is though, once you do that, can you do that multiple times because it feels like it kind of blows your cover? Now the person's going to know, oh, they probably booked it for a half an hour later and then just told me, so now I can,
If they start doing that math, then I'm just stopping. Like, I'm not going to invite them anymore.
Then
I'm
they're
done.
done completely, right? Yeah. So
Goodbye.
One person said actually a similar thing is the next step is forgetting to invite you. So if that's going to hurt your feelings, like, well, here's your wake up call.
Yeah.
Right? Is that okay? Yeah, that's definitely okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, if people did that to me, I'd be like, okay, understood. I'll do my best to try to, be better now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, like that's just hilarious.
And I
love
feel
it.
like it depends on the situation. Because if you're talking about dinner reservations, you need to be there on time. You should be there early
Especially
for
with a
dinner
group and stuff
interventions.
Interventions.
That's right. You want to be early for those too.
You showed up late to your intervention, you alcoholic.
Sorry, I was out getting a drink. My bad. But if it's just like a get together at somebody's house, I can see.
That's different.
You
But a
know.
dinner is special. That was this
Yeah.
situation. It was definitely a dinner, and young folks eating out, a bunch of them in a group. Now you're holding everybody up and all of that stuff. And like you said, 8:30. I'm hungry by now.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? So it's just so funny that people got upset about this, or anybody.
Of course they did.
Would take, but again, with the internet. So there you go. All right, that does it for that. We'll jump into the answers, or no, our random facts. I forgot our recurrent dose of Did You Know? So
Are you sure we're on episode 90? Because it feels like episode 5.
it could just be a Monday. Who knows?
That is true.
But here
it
is
has
your-
been a Monday.
Here is your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Some random facts for episode 90. Almost completely forgot what I was talking about there.
Huh, it
Just
got
right in the
really
middle.
quiet.
Right in the middle.
All right.
Did you know a chef named Hidekazu Tojo?
No.
And I'm just guessing here. Claims he created the California roll in the 1970s
Okay.
at his restaurant in Vancouver, which is in British Columbia, if you're not familiar. He says it became the California roll because the contents were crab and avocado, so CA, which is the abbreviation for California.
Okay.
But it's also the abbreviation for Canada, so I don't get that.
Whatever.
But there you go. That's what this guy says. Did you know in the song High Voltage by AC/DC, the chord progression in the chorus is AC/DC?
That's cool.
That is freaking genius.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Did you know after a curling match, the winners are supposed to take the losers out for a round of drinks, even at the Olympics?
I like that. That's a good rule to have in a game.
That is an excellent rule. I wouldn't be even trying.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to get a drink out of this.
I'm
This is
getting
gonna be
free
great.
drinks out of this.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. You do the broom. I'll be fine. Did you know Thousand Island dressing is named after the Thousand Islands region in the St. Lawrence River between the U.S. and Canada?
Yes.
Did you know it was created by a fisherman's wife while he fished in the river?
No.
Because details.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Fun facts.
Finally, did you know Jack White from the White Stripes took his wife's last name when they got married?
No, but interesting.
Do you call it a maiden name for a guy? Because
I don't think
maiden
so. No,
and all
that's
that
weird.
Stuff.
His old name.
His original name, his OG name, was Gillis. Jack Gillis.
Yeah, he made the right choice.
Jack White
there.
sounds better.
Yeah.
A lot
Sounds
better.
cool.
Yeah. And that is your weekly dose of Did You Know? Your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Really, episode 1.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sorry, Paul. Some random facts for episode 90. Last time, we asked about the kid slang
Oh, kid slang, yes.
with the drips and the skibbities and the rizzes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The gas and yeets.
The yeets. The yeets.
What Gen Z phrases have you picked up, found yourself using? Some good answers. I feel like a lot of people are reluctant to share that they do this, honestly.
Well, probably because when you start picking up certain words, you end up saying it and you go, what the hell? Where did that come from?
Yeah, for real.
Sometimes it's embarrassing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, especially you let one of those slip somewhere weird, workplace,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Brando says, let him cook.
Let him cook, okay?
Let him cook. I mean, you know, I feel like I get the gist of that definition. I'm not even going to say if I know what these mean or not.
I'm definitely not because I'm so out of touch, it's not even funny.
Todd says none. And I said, that's super mid, Todd. You got no riz. Got no drip on your words. That's just, that doesn't make any sense. That's nothing. That's not even a thing. All right. Ralph says he made one up himself and tried getting his kids to use it. He said
Yes!
it didn't work though.
Dang.
It was Yeti for something super cool. Example, the new 2 Chainz song is Yeti. I get
I
it.
kind of like it.
It's not bad. It's
Yeti.
not bad.
Ralph, we'll start saying that.
It's yeah.
That's Yeti.
All Ralph's answers are Yeti.
That's right.
Snowman. He threw up a what do you want? A glossary.
Oh, cool. I
Yeah.
need those.
So skibbity equals bad. Riz.
Skippity?
Skibbity.
Skibbity.
Yeah.
Skibbity.
Riz
That's skibbity?
is the charisma. That one I did know. Sigma equals good. Gyat or GYATT equals butts.
Okay.
I don't know how to
What?
say that. I hate how old this is making me feel. Drip is nice clothes. That one I did know. Mid equals not that great. Todd. I'm going to get the drop from Christmas Vacation for
Yeah.
every time I have to bust Todd's chops.
That's right.
No cap equals no lie. Cringe equals embarrassing. That one we know.
Yeah.
I think that one started well before Gen Z, but
I think
who
so
cares?
too.
Thank you, Snowman, for the glossary, the
Yeah.
explanation. I appreciate that. He says he learned it just to embarrass his nieces and nephews. He says nephews don't care, but the nieces have massive cringe. Just cringe mountain, right?
I'm going to print out that little glossary there and keep it at my desk at work.
I am very happy that I'm not around a lot of kids who use this. Because do you have?
Not too many, but I work with a 26-year-old that constantly says things like slay and all of that. But also we have a lot of people that come in that are college age or just starting college.
Oh, boy.
And sometimes when they're talking, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I have never felt so old in my life. and out of touch.
Look, I'm sorry.
It's horrific.
You're going to have to use your mom's English or something like that.
I just
What do we-
usually like laugh it off, and I'm pretty sure that just makes it worse, where it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
They know I'm old.
Whatever.
My cover's blown.
One day you'll be here too, kids.
That's right. One day, it'll happen to you.
That's right. It'll happen to you too. I promise. Anyway, there you go. No question for next episode. We're going to be off for the Labor Day.
That's right. It's a 3-day weekend. Looking forward to it, and just kind of chilling out and enjoying it before, we officially wrap up summer.
Yeah, trying to decide if we're going to fight the beach crowd or not.
I think we do, just because.
Most likely.
Why not?
We don't usually let them get us down.
That's right.
There's not that many of it. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. So yeah, probably that going on for us. Some other shenanigans and festivities and such. So no episode 91 for 2 weeks.
That's right.
We're really just trying to push back before we get to episode 100 because we're trying to come up with something fun to do for that.
We're going to do something great.
I'm going to need to take the time off and do some practice because I have no idea where I've been this whole episode. How about
that's
that?
okay.
Just run through a couple of dry runs or something like that so I remember exactly what the hell we're doing over here.
Practice how to do a podcast.
That's right. So, like, even this, I don't have our sound.
Oh, you're not even
thing ready to go. So we're gonna. Is this the right one? I don't even know.
Let's find out.
But
just click a button, see what happens.
I am super excited. Let's see if it does work. 45 mouse clicks later. There we go.
I was gonna say there was a little bit of a delay, but okay.
I'm super excited. The Prestige. I've only seen this once, maybe twice since it came. I remember the first time it came out, I thought it was awesome, and then just never sat down and watched it all the way through again. So it was super awesome to watch it through again.
Yeah.
For the first time in a while. A lot of fun watching some of your reactions to some of the things going on, and you went hella hard on the notes.
There are a lot of notes, but a lot happens in this movie, and a lot was going on in my mind at the time.
So take it away, The Prestige.
So the first thing I'm going to say, though, is if you have not seen this movie yet, if you have lived under a rock as well, please pause the podcast. Go watch it and come back.
Yeah, don't let Naomi ruin it.
Do not
Us.
let me ruin this movie for you. This movie, and I usually don't start this way, but this movie is so great with its twists and turns. You need to see it for yourself first. That's a demand right there.
Yeah, so go watch The Prestige, then come back and check out the review if you haven't seen it.
We'll
We can
still
stop
be
now.
here.
Yeah,
We're not going anywhere.
that's right.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. The first 2 words of my notes say, oh, man. Oh, man. We have started with the craziest part of the story. So first of all, really good setup to, opening a movie and getting you hooked right away.
Yeah.
We've got Michael Caine. He's explaining the different parts of a magic trick as he performs a small illusion for a young girl. And while he's doing that, we see a very sophisticated illusion happening in a theater. So you've got his voiceover, and it cuts back to him.
Oh, and that
and then
Michael
you
Caine
see,
voice, too.
Yes, which really helps everything here. But again, you have that sophisticated illusion happening in a theater as well. So apparently something went wrong with this elaborate design, though, because we find ourselves in a courtroom. Michael Caine, a.k.a. Mr. Cutter, designs illusions. And it looks like Christian Bale, a.k.a. Alfred Borden, is on trial as maybe he has tampered with an illusion to kill another magician.
Uh-oh.
Now, the prosecutor needs to know the secrets of the trick to make sure it wasn't a mistake in the illusion. But, of course, Cutter can't give up the trick. And that's where we learn how important it is. The whole story, the whole thing about, magicians not giving up their secrets and how it's lost so fast. And you see a lot of that in this movie, especially when, the magicians that we're going to be following start performing and all that, where they take the stage and they're doing these tricks and they're being booed because people are like, I've already seen this. I know how it's done.
Right.
They don't care. They want to see something new and exciting. And that's, one branch of the storylines that we follow throughout this movie, which I think that's what made it such a great movie. Was
A
there
couple
were
of different
so
threads and
many,
stuff.
yes, and they were all so well done.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we have this predicament because Judge needs to know whether the illusion failed or was it actually murder, and of course, Mr. Cutter can't give up the secrets.
Yeah, you can't tell the whole courtroom, of course. It's
right.
full of people and all that.
All right, in the meantime, we got Borden. He's in jail, and Mr. Owens approaches him, wanting him to sell his tricks, all of them. Even this one called the Transported Man, which apparently means too much to Borden, and he doesn't want to sell it. Owen says if he sells it, it will protect Borden's daughter from becoming an orphan, because I guess, he's going to lose this case. I don't know. He's going to be tried for murder. Then the man hands Borden a book. It's Robert Angier's diary, the guy who died in the beginning of the movie.
Wolverine.
Yes.
We got Wolverine versus Batman, basically.
We do.
Hugh Jackman,
I never
Christian
put those
Bale.
two things together.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I was trying not to watch the whole time.
But we do have that. So anyways, Borden is in jail, and he's handed Robert Angier's diary.
Yeah.
So the diary states that Angier is trying to decipher Borden's writings. So apparently he stole a notebook from Borden or his diary or something like that. So we're basically having 2 counts of, thievery and note stealing and all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, so the diary that Borden is reading, that Angier wrote, is talking about deciphering Borden's writings. Of course, a notebook that's got all of his information, his tips and ideas, tricks, all of that kind of stuff. Between the two, betting there's quite a feud. Obviously.
Yeah.
I learned that real fast.
Real fast.
At this point, I'm wondering if Angier is really dead. The name of the movie is The Prestige, which Cutter explained was the 3rd and final act of the magic trick. So I'm guessing he's going to appear somewhere else and is ruining Borden's life by having him hung for killing him. That would be a great way to get rid of your competition.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. So
that's a hell of a guess right off the bat.
Yeah.
All right.
So Angier is in Colorado Springs with Borden's notebook or his writings or whatever. While reading his writings, we find out that the two do know each other. They know each other very well. They were magicians together, at least starting off their career. They were like helpers in somebody else's show.
They were plants, pretty
Yes.
much, right?
So, we see a little bit of that story, the back and forth. Borden has to tie this girl's arms together all the time, and Angier is always tying the feet. Like you said, they are the plants in the audience. We find out later that the girl is actually Angier's wife. Anyway, so we see him backstage a little bit. They talk, they discuss things. Cutter is back there as well. He offers them 10 minutes of stage time so they'd be able to show off their skills if they go to this other theater, watch another magician perform, and they have to tell Cutter how he pulled off this goldfish trick.
Oh, the goldfish in the bowl. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
And I figured
It's
at this
a great
point...
one. Great scene.
Yes. Well, there are so many great scenes
There
in
are
this
a
movie.
lot. Yeah, it's a great movie.
So at this point, I thought this is where the rivalry was really going to start between the two. I was wrong.
A little bit.
Yeah. Seems like Borden is a very smart man and can pick up on a lot of things. He figured out the goldfish trick and found out that specific magician lives his lie, his trick. He lives that all the time. Like, he is that character.
Yeah, he makes himself look like a feeble old man so he can manage to carry around a bowl full of water with a goldfish between his legs on stage and pull it up behind a cloth.
Yeah. And there's like no way that you could do this except for if you were a feeble old man that had to kind of hobble around.
It's perfect.
It really is.
And freaky.
He is that dedicated to the trick. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's not a bad story. Maybe Borden and Angier are both dedicated to a specific trick, and this story's going to have a happy ending, and they're both going to, he's going to escape from being hung, and Angier is still alive.
Yeah.
I was hoping.
Good guess.
Yeah.
Why not? Happy endings.
So we're back with Cutter and the judge. The two are looking at evidence. The main piece of the trick, which looks like one of those Van de Graaff generator things where you put your hand on it and your hair sticks up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the metal ball things. Now they've got the plasma balls that you can
Heck yes.
touch and, your hair sticks up, all that. Cutter tells the judge he can't sell this specific piece of evidence. Apparently this Lord Caldlow, I don't know. He's trying to buy all the magician's secrets and tools and all of that.
Yeah.
He's actually the one that it's mentioned when, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Borden is in jail, and Mr. Owens was like, sell your secrets, all of that kind of stuff.
To him.
That was supposed to go to Lord Caldwell Caldlow. I don't know. That other guy.
I'm going to have to look it up because I cannot remember his name either.
Anyways, he wants to buy like all the magician's secrets and tools and all of that. The judge is asking why not? Why can't we sell this? And Cutter explains that this is real. It's not magic. It's real.
It's real
stuff.
science and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So we learned the tank that Angier fell into during his illusion that I guess wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, I think. Someone had switched the trick padlock with a real one, or at least maybe that's what's going on, because Cutter explains some of the illusions, and he's explaining this to the judge, and one of it is the tank that's got the little where the magician can untie their hands, slip their hand out, and move this fake padlock. But that wasn't the case where Angier drowned in a tank.
You also see the tank busted all open and stuff from where they've got him out and whatnot too. It's just crazy.
Yeah. All right. So I had mentioned earlier we found out that Angier's wife is part of the magic show that both Angier and Borden worked on. There are plants in the audience for a specific trick that Borden has complained about having to tie this knot on her wrist. He wants to do a different style of one so that he can tie it better and all of that kind of stuff. She's up for it, but they say, no, it's too dangerous. When it gets wet, she won't be able to slip her hands out of it. Apparently, they decide to test out this different type of knot.
Yeah.
And again, the wife said she would be able to escape from it. And one day when they're doing the trick, you see Borden tie the knot differently.
They kind of give each other a nod, like the go ahead.
Yeah.
Like trying to push the limits and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. And they were both in agreement, They pull up the curtain to reveal her, outside of the tank. But that's not the case. She's actually still in the tank. She can't get the knot untied. Cutter hits the glass with an axe multiple times until it breaks open and the water goes everywhere. But it's too late. The wife is dead, and the audience knows that, these guys were plants in the crowd.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. In the meantime, Borden is starting his magic career and got himself an illusion creator, just like Mr. Cutter. His name is Fallon. Borden just found out that his girlfriend, or wife, whoever she is, Sarah, is pregnant. And he says he wants to do a specific trick. She says, no, it's too dangerous. And she asks him to tell him how it's done. So he tells her. She feels better about everything. Although I didn't think he should tell her, I feel like.
Did you think she was going to double cross him or something like that?
I didn't think she was going to double cross him, but I feel like it was something that she didn't need to know.
It was the bullet catch, right?
Yeah, and I was afraid she was going to show up at a show and tell other people. I figured she wouldn't be able to keep her mouth shut, and then all the magicians would know the secrets of that trick, so it would become another one that's nobody cares about anymore because you know how it's done. Anyways, she ends up asking him if that was his giant best trick that he was gonna do, and he says no, the world's not ready for that trick yet, which gets me all excited. I'm like, ooh, what trick is he gonna have?
Now we know it's the transported man.
Yes. So we see Borden putting on his first magic show, and people are booing him because he's doing the same simple tricks that everybody does, so everybody's already seen all this. So now he's going to do the catching the bullet trick that he had explained to his wife and, showed her how safe it was and everything like that. But when he picks an audience member, that member stuck something down the front of the gun. So we know Borden's going to get hurt. So basically the trick was where, like, you put the bullet in the gun, you put the gunpowder in, or you put the gunpowder, the bullet, whatever, but you have that
The
stick.
ramrod thing.
Ramrod.
But it had, I don't know what,
A magnet at the end to pull the bullet out.
Yeah.
But there's always the chance that somebody, if you pull an audience member, is going to stick something down the front of that gun. Well, you still have that gunpowder in there, and when you shoot it off, like,
Projectile.
it's going to go through you. So at this point, Borden's going to get hurt. Like, we know that.
Yeah, you kind of know.
But did not know that it was Angier
That
dressed
was awesome.
up. Before the stagehand can hit the gun away, like, he slaps it a little bit, but the gun still goes off. And whatever he put in the front of it goes through Borden. At first I thought he got hit in the stomach, but apparently it was just his hand. But still sucks. I mean, he lost like 2 fingers.
Lost a couple of fingers, yeah.
So Mr. Danton is what he was going by now, aka Angier. Teams back up with Cutter and will be performing his own show. Now, his tricks aren't getting very much respect from his audience, so he tries a new trick, one that Cutter designed that would make a cage disappear instead of a bird. So normally you have the bird in the cage, and you smash down the cage, and all of a sudden, the bird's gone, and you make the bird reappear. This would be making that cage appear, and then you have the bird. He takes 2 volunteers. One of the volunteers is Borden.
Yep.
So this is some, like,
Back and forth.
Yeah. Reminds me of all the stories you hear about radio stations stunting against each other back in like the 80s and 90s and stuff. So they're basically just ruining each other's careers at this point. And it's like, man, guys, stop.
The obsession is amazing.
Yes.
And it's done so well.
So one of the volunteers, it's Borden. And before he has time to stop him, Borden ruins the trick, ends up smashing the cage, so it ends up killing the bird, like on stage in front of everybody. And the other volunteer had her fingers like on the cage. Her fingers got smashed in there too, so her fingers are broken. There's blood everywhere. Like, it's horrific.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
thing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Another excellent scene.
My comments on that just says yikes.
Yikes. Yeah, perfect.
Good way to put it,
Yeesh. Yeah.
Angier is looking over Borden's notes when a man sits down beside him and tells him a little bit about a Tesla. They start talking about Tesla. Apparently Tesla built a machine for Borden, or maybe another magician. I'm assuming it's Borden. And now Angier wants him to do the same. So we cut back to Borden in jail, talking with his daughter. Apparently, they're going to take her to a work house, which means she's going to be an orphan. He tells them,
it's not life. Sorry.
No, not needed. He tells them, tell Mr. Owens, tell your Lord friend, whatever, I'll reconsider. Mr. Owens earlier wanted to buy all his tricks and all of that. So at this point, I'm guessing Lord Caldlow, whatever, is Angier. I mean, Angier wants to steal Borden's best tricks already because of the 2 rivalries that we have, and we haven't met this Lord Caldlow guy anyways. It's got to be Angier, right? All right. So Angier goes to see Borden perform again. We are back into the past where he's not in jail right now. Angier goes to see Borden perform again with plans to ruin his trick, hurt him, whatever he has to do. But when he gets there, he sees him. Borden's got a new trick. And Angier is pretty mesmerized by the trick. Enough that he doesn't do anything. He's busy trying to figure out how he's doing the trick.
Yeah.
He ends up going back multiple times to try and figure out this illusion, but can't. It's the transported man.
That's right.
He steps in one door and appears in another.
Bounces the ball across the stage and catches it in the other door.
Yes.
I love how the first time they show that, they do not show the end of the trick.
No, they don't.
That's awesome.
And you just sit there going, okay, like you can kind of figure what happened.
Right.
Because you see the other door, but it's just weird. But anyways, we've got Angier going back again and again and again trying to figure out this trick. Cutter doesn't even understand how the trick is done, but they believe that they could pull it off with somebody who looks exactly like Angier, his own like body double.
Yeah.
Cutter says that this has to be what
He's saying it's the only possible way that Borden's pulling this off.
Yeah, that's the only way that he could be doing this. And Angier's new assistant, Olivia, says the same thing. She goes, oh, yeah, I saw it, and I had to look really close because you could see his fingers. His fingers are messed up because of where he got shot. And it's the same when he's in one door and then steps out the other. So anyways, they're gonna do the same trick, but they need to find somebody that looks like Angier.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They find an actor that looks pretty close. He's a drunk, but, he'll do the trick.
And just Hugh Jackman playing that part is just something else.
Good.
It really is. It's something else. Just that drunk, sloppy jackass
Yeah.
is awesome.
So Cutter works his magic, and the guy looks and acts a lot like Angier. Pretty close to the same thing, except for, again, the drunkenness. He has his own stunt double, so he's going to be able to pull off his transported man trick. And people love it.
Oh, yeah.
Angier,
he's a better showman.
Yeah. Yes, he's made it a performance, a spectacle. He's made it the whole thing, while as much as Borden is smart and clever and all of that, doesn't really have that much showmanship.
Yeah, that flair.
With it.
He doesn't have that flair with him.
Yeah. So Angier is mad because as he's doing this transported man trick, he closes the door and he falls below the stage while his body double is going up the stage and comes out the other door. So he's always under the stage for, when people are cheering and excited and all of that.
That whole applause, he doesn't get to see the audience reaction and all of that.
Yeah. So at this point, he still needs to know how Borden does the trick, and is going to send his assistant, Olivia, to go work for Borden to get the secrets. At this point, I'm thinking man, you got to learn to let things go,
for real,
dude.
For real, the obsession is...
Yeah, you're ruining your entire life over this.
It's done so well that it's so intense throughout the movie,
All right, so we got Olivia. She goes to Borden, tells him, though, that Angier is obsessed with finding out how he does the trick and wants her to find out and steal it and all of that. But she's saying, he can't even enjoy the success that he's had so far, and she's tired of it. Also, Borden knows how he does the trick. He knows Angier has a stunt double, and he can tell the differences very well between the two men. He's like, oh, that guy that's overweight and drunk all the time, know?
Didn't he say something about when he steps out of the other door overweight and drunk?
Yes.
Slightly drunk or something? It's an excellent line.
It really
Absolutely.
is. It's really well done. And, it just... Again, he found out how the goldfish trick was done. He pays attention. He knows.
Yeah.
He watches closely.
The reality of stuff.
Yes. So, of course, he knew how he was doing the trick. All right. So, anyways, he knows the differences between everybody. Borden finds the guy that's, the stunt double for Angier. Plants some ideas in his head. And is basically having him continuously ruin the trick for Angier until he basically blows the whole thing up.
Yeah.
He starts making him demand more money. He's not making him. He just made it a point to let the drunk guy know that he has all the power.
That's right.
And sure enough, he
Cutter
started...
at one point says that, too. He's like, usually it takes him a lot longer to figure this out.
Yes. And so, this is so well done. Borden starts messing with him so bad. At one point, gets rid of like the mat, so when Angier falls through the trap door, he like, I don't know if he broke his leg,
Something.
but did some damage because after that, the rest of the movie, Angier's got like a metal.
Yeah, well, he limps and he has a cane.
Yeah, but he also gets that metal like
The brace, yeah.
brace put around his leg.
The Forrest Gump brace.
And then at one point too, because he knows how the trick is done, Borden comes up on the other side of the stage.
That is just awesome.
He just took over the show. Oh my goodness. Like, that was kind of a really badass move. It was a mean thing to do, but it was a badass move.
I mean, the dude won't stop obsessing over him and, messing with, I don't, let it go, man. Let it go. So he's not going to, so Borden goes, okay, here.
Both of them needed to let it go. Honestly, both of them needed to grow up and let it go.
Yeah.
Again, Borden shows up as the stunt double, uses that opportunity to invite everyone to his magic show across the street. Like I said, badass, awful, but badass. At this point, this rivalry is getting really good.
Oh, it's full blown.
Yeah. So Borden puts on his show, and Angier is there. He follows Borden, and Borden's illusion creator guy follows both of them, Mr. Fallon. Angier and Cutter end up kidnapping Fallon and that illusionist creator guy. He ends up shooting Cutter as they're putting him in a box. So
It's great.
like, that scene is so intense because they know Angier knows he's being followed, and he did it on purpose. He wanted to be followed. They're going to, kidnap Mr. Fallon, whatever. But, like, he goes up, like, some stairs or whatever, and as Mr. Fallon comes around, like, I don't know if it's a trap door or whatever, but he ends up in, like,
broken, partially broken stairs where obviously Andrew, like, jumped over him, and Fallon just falls right through.
But ends up in a box, and they, like, hammer it shut.
Yeah.
And while they're doing it, he's got a gun, and he just shoots it, which ends up shooting Cutter. Luckily, like, not too bad or whatever. Which is just intense. Like, geez, what are you trying to do? Like, now we're talking life and death here. Although, the guy did shoot him, like, right away, too. Angier did shoot at Borden during his, like, first show. So I guess it always was life and death. So there is so much going on in this movie. There are way too many twists to the point where, like, again, you just have to watch it for yourself. And if you haven't watched it in a long time, this is the reminder to go watch it.
If you haven't seen The Prestige in a minute, pull that up because it is so worth another watch. I
want to watch it again already.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot how good that was.
So,
Yikes.
They buried Fallon. They buried him in that box.
I know, it's ridiculous.
But Borden came up, gave a little note to Angier. Angier that said Tesla on it. That was supposed to, like, crack the code.
Oh, that was the keyword to the cipher for
the notebook that he stole. Yes. So Borden is basically given a shovel and, here's Fallon, go dig for him. So Fallon is saved. Angier buried him, which just ended up giving Borden an idea for another trick. He's telling his wife about it later that he's going to get buried, make a whole trick thing out of it.
Yeah.
The stolen diary or notebook that Angier has. Hang on a second. The stolen diary or notebook that Angier has that he's been reading and all that apparently was a plant.
Well, of course. Magicians and all that, right?
I guess, but I didn't see that coming. He went all the way to America to work with Tesla because, that was the keyword that was going to crack the code and everything. Tesla was going to build a machine for him that was like the machine Borden has, but apparently Borden doesn't have a machine like that.
Yeah, he duped him into doing that, into leaving London for a couple of years and
going all the way to America,
spending a whole bunch of his fortune and whatnot.
Yes. Like, what? I got all confused because my note that was supposed to say reading said ready, and it threw me way off.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, is this the part where he is at the end of the diary and there's that big reveal, or are we still coming to that?
I believe that's like what we're at here.
It's like,
Yes.
he's reading through it and he was like, Angier, like, you're a dumbass because I wrote all this for you. You know?
Yes. This
wonderful.
is the part where that happens, where it's just basically like, oh, by the way, to prove that you sent Olivia to come work for me and she was supposed to report back to you, to prove her loyalty to me, I had her give you this diary.
That's right.
I sent you on this wild goose chase, basically. So again, he went to America, he met with Tesla, he's thrown all this money at a machine that does not exist yet.
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 Yeah. Wild Goose Chase, maybe not.
And Tesla's over here trying to actually create a teleporting device to get something to teleport from one place to another.
Did you catch who was playing Tesla?
No.
David Bowie.
Like the David Bowie?
No, David Bowie Johnson.
I don't know. Is there another David Bowie? You know I don't know my people.
The Star Child himself. Ziggy Stardust.
Wow.
David Bowie.
Interesting.
Starman? Star Child? Starman.
Don't ask
Yeah.
me. You know I'm not going to know.
Yeah, David Bowie.
All right.
Excellent performance, too. He does the whole, like, I don't know if Tesla was supposed to be German or something. Whatever it was great.
It was well
Yeah,
done.
he's
yes.
excellent.
All right. So anyways, we've got Tesla working on an actual transporter machine. And apparently this machine is working, though. So what it does, though, it's making a copy of the item. And an item is transported outside of the facility where they're working. They started this with the top hats.
Yeah.
So they used Angier's top hat. And at first it looked like it was just getting fried on the facility floor.
So it does make a copy. It just sends that copy somewhere else.
Yes. So you'd, like, later we see Angier walking through the outside of the facility and there's like a million top hats just hanging out there. And it's like, oh, shoot, the machine is working. It's making a copy as well.
Yeah.
But before Tesla can finish calibrating the machine, because, you know, they need to know exactly where this copy is going, you know.
Yeah.
At this point, I thought Thomas Edison's men, who had been hanging around the area, burned everything down. So I didn't think Angier was going to get his payoff.
That's right.
Spoke too soon. Looks like it was Tesla that burned everything down, probably so no one else would get the secrets and all of that kind of stuff. But he left a box for Angier, a box with the transporter machine in there that would allow him to transport from one place to another.
Crazy.
And he is going to be able to do this trick. Remember, we said earlier, this is real. It's not magic.
That's right.
Yeah. This story is getting even crazier. I thought it was crazy to begin with.
For real, they do a good job of, like, it's real, reality and all of that, and then all of a sudden it's such a easy slip into the supernatural that you don't even notice. It's like, oh shit, that's not a real thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it got me there. Yeah,
It was really
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
because especially because Tesla says, you know, when you are done with this machine, destroy it.
Yeah.
Get rid of this. Nobody needs this, which makes it seem more believable.
It's creepy.
Yes. All right. So we see Borden and his wife are getting into a pretty heated fight about Olivia because Borden is having an affair with her and won't
Or
admit
so
to
it
it.
would seem.
Yes. After the fight, Sarah goes to Borden's workshop and hangs herself. Didn't see that one coming.
Really sad scene.
Yeah. Olivia meets with Borden afterward, who says he never loved Sarah at all. He loves Olivia, in which she says, you know, it's really inhuman to be that cold, especially after your wife just died.
I know, it's almost like no remorse at all.
Yeah.
Creepy.
And she starts talking about Angier because apparently he's back and he's got a new trick.
Yes, he does.
Back from America. He's going to teleport, and that's going to set up everything for Borden and his murder, so that he'll be able to take everything away from him, even though he's already basically lost everything. Well, almost. He'll lose his kid and probably lose his life when he's tried for murder. But he's lost a lot of things already. He lost his wife and all of that. And,
Right.
you know, he kind of lives a kind of sad, miserable life. You know? Borden doesn't really have a lot going for him.
And you find out why.
Yes.
Now, at this point, had you any idea?
No.
Okay.
No. I do like the fact that right in the beginning, I was like, Angier's got to still be alive.
That
you
is,
know?
yeah, that's a good call. I was not thinking that hard.
I was like, there is no way that he's dead. These two magicians, no, he's alive. He set him up.
Yeah, excellent call.
All right, so we see Angier back on stage performing all his great tricks. Then he's going to perform his transported man. And he makes it look like he uses a trap door. So I'm wondering if that's just to kind of throw Borden off the scent of what he's actually doing. But then he appears on the rail of the balcony, part of like the seating and everything, and there was no possible way for him to get over there that fast.
Right.
Of course, Borden is in the audience, but can't figure out how he's doing the trick. It's a trick he can't understand. I wrote a puzzle he can't solve.
Ooh,
because,
yeah.
again, Borden was so
he's-
smart.
the puzzle master, right? Yeah, he would just think around those corners and figure out all those little angles and
Yeah.
stuff that nobody else could see.
This is going to drive him into madness. It really is. That in itself was Angier's perfect, revenge there. You can drive this guy into madness because he's not going to be able to figure out how you did the trick. So we know what's going to happen here. We know he's got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, we've already seen, pretty much part of the ending of this. And
Yeah.
That's how the movie starts.
This is going to drive him under the stage when Angier appears down there and is in the tank. So he's going to get framed for this murder, and Angier is still alive. I'm 100% sure of that now. So Borden goes to the show many times. He finally raises his hand to be a volunteer to check out the machine. He checks everything out, all that. But instead of going back to his seat, he goes under the stage. And as he's running there, like a stagehand tries to like grab him. And he's like, no, I'm part of the act. I'm part of the act.
Yeah.
So he can, run back down there. He's checking, I mentioned that he's checking everything out, runs under the stage. So he sees Angier fall into the box and drowned. And he tries to break the glass and save him. But when Tesla made the machine, it was making copies. And that duplicate was outside the facility. So, could the Angier that had fallen in the water tank be the double? It's gotta be, right?
You would think.
Yeah. He was meant to drown there. But because Borden saw it, he wasn't supposed to. Now, you kind of have to hang him. He saw a murder.
Sure. All well, orchestrated.
So well orchestrated.
Because at this point, you got to figure, right? Like, so Angier was doing this and killing off the double and knew that Borden was going to run down, underneath the stage and see it. And like, it feels orchestrated, right? Like he did it on purpose.
Wait a minute. But where's Cutter through all this? I mean, he knew part of what was going on a little bit. I mean, he was the illusion creator for Angier. So does he have something to do with this? At this point, those are the thoughts going through my head. That now I'm like, maybe Cutter is involved. And there's still 20 minutes left in this movie at this point. All right. So we see Angier on the table. Okay, he's dead. All right, we see him. He's dead. But he
dead.
can't be dead. He
Sure is.
cannot be dead. Borden is found guilty. He's going to be hung. And we finally get to meet Lord Caldlow. He has shown up with Borden's daughter. It's going to be Angier. He's still alive. He killed his clone. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
So, Lord Caldlow is Angier. All right.
Called it.
Yep. He had Borden's daughter, and he's going to let Borden hang for his death, even though he's still alive. Cutter ends up showing up at Caldwell's place to ask for the transporter device and all of that. Finds out it's Angier. So apparently Cutter didn't know. Apparently
Right.
he was not a part of this. But it's not over yet.
Uh-oh.
All right. As they're taking Borden to be
an
hung.
excellent ending to a movie.
It absolutely is. They're taking Borden to be hung. He tells the guard, "Are you watching closely?"
Yeah, it's just great.
There's misdirection. I don't know what I'm supposed to be paying attention to at this point. I don't know what's about to happen. I hope Borden escapes. This feud isn't worth death, although 2 people died already. You know, the wives both died. You know, like I can tell the misdirect, but I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I have never been so excited for an ending of a movie. I paused it so many times for all these quick little snippets of notes.
It was very drawn out because of the pausing, which just made the anticipation really, really good. So that it actually kind of helped. It was awesome.
So, my notes say, I don't want to say what happened. Just in case. Like, if you've never seen it, like, I don't want to spoil this part of the ending. You have to watch it.
If your last warning. If you really haven't seen this movie, go watch it now before you finish the pod. You can come back for the dad jokes.
You have to watch it. All right. Borden says, "Are you watching closely?" All right, so apparently Cutter was right. The transported man trick was Borden and a second person to look like Borden. It was Fallon, Mr. Fallon. Borden and Fallon are the same person.
That's
They're
right.
2 people living half of the same
They're twins.
life. They ask Borden any last words before they hang him, and he says abracadabra, which was just boom, badass. Then we see him under the stage with Angier. He ends up shooting Angier, and everything comes out, the whole story. Angier's asking, you know, was he your brother? Were you twins?
He says that's
what?
He says a brother,
you know?
a twin.
And then they talk about being dedicated to the joke, like the goldfish trick and the guy who act frail and old and all hunched over. Borden was so dedicated to this trick. You know, it was him and his twin living this same life as one person.
100% the whole time.
To the point where Borden, who got his fingers shot off, they had to cut. I don't even know what they used, whatever that tool
It looked like a
was.
chisel, honestly.
Yeah.
But they, you know,
To
so that they
make
can
the
make
hands
the same
match.
length and look the same and all that stuff. I love as they're doing that reveal. They show the scene where he's with Sarah, and she's like, "It looks like a fresh wound. Like it hasn't even started healing yet. What is going on with this thing?"
Yes.
Watching that for the second time is like, I know. You know,
Also,
it's so great.
something that I didn't notice, but noticed as I was reading back my notes. So, Fallon gets buried, and then everybody, they all go out to dinner. They meet Sarah, and Olivia's there, and Borden talks about, like, I've got a new trick. I'm going to get buried.
Yeah.
His face is so pale in that scene. And I thought, that's some really bad makeup. It was because he was buried. It was him who was buried.
That's right.
That's why it was okay for him to say, I'm going to get buried, because he already was. I'm telling you, go back and watch that scene and don't tell me, like, his face is not pale, like as if he was covered with the dirt and the stone that was all white that they dug up.
Yep.
Like, just really, really well done.
Awesome.
So we find out the true thing. The transporter trick was a trick. And then we got Angier over here messing with science and Tesla to make clones of himself so he can transport somewhere else, which ends up being really disgusting because, again, the transporter machine was making duplicates of himself. So we see this whole row of water tanks filled with drowned Angiers.
Yeah.
But even worse, Angier mentioned something that's really, really creepy.
Uh-huh.
Because he says he never knew if he was going to be the Prestige, the guy standing on the balcony all cool, or if he was going to be the man in the box, the guy drowning in the tank. It's really messed up. And you see that in like the first he
time.
transports and he shoots himself. And it's just uncomfortable.
What you would think is the clone or the copy goes, no, wait, I'm not. And then, bang. It's like, well, yeah, which one is which? Because, it's the same guy. It's a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's much creepier than Multiplicity, for sure.
Yes. And then there's a whole bunch of, like, hidden pieces because at one point, Cutter is talking to Angier after Angier lost his wife because she drowned. And was like, I had a sailor friend who, was underwater. And it took him, like, 5 minutes before he coughed up the water. And they asked him, what was it like? And he said it was like going home. And Cutter brings that back up to Angier.
Yeah.
And he says, that's not true. He said it was agony. Which is really messed up because he's saying this to Angier, who has already drowned himself multiple times.
Yeah, and I think because of what Cutter told him, that it's like, no, it's okay. It's like going home.
That's the
And
way
then,
that
so he's realizing, and remember, there's that row of the tanks, right?
Yes.
100 shows, no more, no less.
Yeah.
Because that's how many tanks he could get his hands on, apparently.
That's just uncomfortable. So we see all that. All of that comes up. Angier has been shot. He dies. Borden gets to be reunited with his daughter. Just wow. What a movie.
Crazy, right?
Absolutely insane.
Well, I think we know the answer to first question. So before we even get there, anything else? Anything you want to add? Anything that we may have skipped over?
I don't think we skipped over anything. That was like the longest note section. I think that's longer than Braveheart.
Very thorough.
Yeah. But a lot happens. And even at that, there are so many little puzzle pieces throughout this movie that I have not included in these notes. Like, this is one, you just gotta see it. And if it's been a while, you have to watch it again.
So you
That
liked
is my
it.
call to action.
Call to action.
Yes.
All right. That is the first question. We always ask Naomi the same set of review questions after each Under a Rock review. And the first question is, did you like it?
Yes.
I think we kind of blew through that right off the bat, which is just fine. I figured you might. And I mean, this was a great one after we went, 2 weeks of Robin Hood and then did Jaws.
Yes.
So, we went with the story.
I wanted a
solid
story,
movie.
and oh my gosh, did I get a freaking story.
So what did you know about it going in?
That I knew what you told me about it, that it's magicians, a rivalry, and set in like the 1800s.
All right. So what were your thoughts going in?
I thought it'd be kind of a cool story. I thought we would see like more magic tricks and all of that. I didn't think the rivalry would be as cutthroat as it was. I wasn't expecting all the twists and turns and any of that.
So I guess that leads into what surprised you, which I mean...
The entire movie.
The whole damn thing.
There were some things that, again, I was like, Angier's got to be alive, but that was still just a guess. I had no freaking idea. As the storyline continues, I was guessing one way. Other things were happening. Like, the entire movie is one surprise after another, from little shocks to big shocks,
Yes, absolutely. Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger? And so let's say, early 20s, 21.
I think I would still like it. I like a lot of movies. I don't think I would appreciate the story that was happening. So I would say probably a little bit less.
And I mean, it's a get better with age movie too, because the more I've seen it, the more I've liked it. So your favorite part.
Oh my gosh. Just everything. Definitely the reveal at the end was just, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I did not. There was no way that it was the simple explanation that they already explained, that Cutter said that he's got somebody that looks just like him.
Yeah, it's a body. They say watching it back, it's like, yeah, he says it right there. It's a body double. It's got to be. There's no other explanation.
Olivia says that he leaves the wigs and glasses and all of that kind of stuff out plain as day. And Angier is so convinced that he's doing it on purpose that it convinced me. Oh yeah, that's the misdirection there. It was so much misdirection from the misdirection, right. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, fantastic. Least favorite part?
When they take the fingers off the other guy. It's gross. I don't like that at all. And the fact that, answer. Sarah hangs herself and, which is weird too, because again, didn't have time to mention all this. She would say, some days you love me and some days you don't. I can tell.
Really great little parts.
I mean, everything.
It's one of the when you watch it back, it's like, oh, how the hell do you miss that?
Right. And a lot of these are like happening in real time right now, where I was like, oh yeah, that happened in the movie. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah, the little parts are. This is up there with like Fight Club and even Shawshank. This is by far one of my most favorite movies I've ever watched. Ever. Not just Under a Rock reviews. Ever. All right.
This
excellent.
This movie
was phenomenal.
Well, welcome to enjoying the film. Welcome to enjoying film. The film.
The film.
The films.
You didn't want to say it like that. The film.
Films. Welcome to enjoying film. Excellent. I'm glad you liked it that much. That's really cool. Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it? I think we know that answer.
Absolutely. I mean, this one I will get on a soapbox. I'll get a megaphone and just stand on the corner going, have you seen The Prestige? You should.
That's wonderful.
Here's a free copy.
So you'd watch it again?
Oh, absolutely.
You have to watch it again.
I want to watch it again.
This is like seeing Fight Club for the first time after seeing it for the first time. You know what I mean?
I've already planned in my head. I'm like, should I watch it next weekend? Is that okay? Yeah. Did I give my brain enough time, but not too much time?
Movies like this it's a double watch movie where both the first and second time you watch it are the first time, which is just so much fun. Absolutely love that. Stop and watching if it's on TV.
Yes, absolutely.
Happy you watched it.
Yes.
All right, excellent. The biggest twist is the one that we said that they tell you is coming, like in the beginning of the movies. Like it's a body double. It's a body double. Was that the biggest twist for you, or the biggest surprise, the biggest reveal?
I think so, because I mean, again, I knew Angier had to be alive. I knew he had to be Lord Caldlow or whatever.
Yeah, you kind of feel that coming a little bit, right?
Because
I mean, you do.
They never show him or mention him, and it's just like they're not introducing a new character that we just haven't seen his face. Like there's no way. Although it could have been possible, honestly, it could have, but you kind of feel that one coming. But just the back and forth between them, the fact that Angier shoots Borden. Like, I didn't think it would come to that right away. The fact that the wife drowns right away, like, it was just intense all around. So I feel like a lot of the situations felt like big surprises because you didn't expect it to be that intense.
So that's Christopher Nolan, Batman Begins and all of that. What the hell's the one that I like? Inception. And he's got his movies that are all kind of, mind bleeps. So
yeah, that's what I felt after watching this. Like
it's great, right?
Yeah. And like I said, out of all the movies I have seen, this one is definitely up there as a favorite. It's just so well done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And one of my favorite ones to reveal, except for just how long it took to get through all those notes. That movie ended up taking us like 4 hours to watch.
Yeah, we are at and up there for an all-time length.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize.
Swear to God, we tried to keep it short at the beginning because we knew this one was going to run a little long. But that's all right. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, and if you liked the movie, then it would have been easy to hang along for it. If
I'm
you
sure.
didn't, I apologize because you're probably yelling the whole time.
The majority of our people are movie people, so I'm sure
that makes sense.
liked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for thought of the day? Let's get moving here.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's a thought of the day, thought of the day.
That really falls flat after all the excitement of that movie.
This week it falls flat. Not
Well,
any other.
No,
you know.
no. I mean, you were singing great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm all like, oh, it was so surprising and shocking and all of this and thought of the day.
Get you a partner that says, no, you were singing great, even after singing like that.
Of course.
How about that?
I got you.
All right, what do we got?
Oh, you're not gonna like this one. Every time you kill a spider, you are playing a small part in reinforcing the process of natural selection, and thereby making future generations of spiders harder to kill.
That that I've thought of that. I've heard that before. That is just absolute. I've decided not to kill spiders anymore.
That's your choice. I'm still gonna kill them.
You're just gonna add to that evolutionary.
Listen, it's my children's problem, not mine.
That's right. And your children's children. Oh
Yep,
my God.
all of that.
All right.
Luke, you're gonna leave us with a laugh.
I'm gonna do my best. I was
What do you got?
at the gym the other day walking around. I said I'm surprised how winded I am by this exercise. The trainer said that's because you're just walking around. It's the tour of the gym. I kind of messed that one up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's try this one. Let's try this one instead.
I don't know. If you mess one up, I think it's one and done.
I should just stop. What happens when a microscope crashes into a telescope?
I don't know.
They kaleidoscope.
That's actually a pretty good one. I did
Hold
like
back the
that.
laughter.
Yeah.
Hold back the laughter. I saw 2 huge blackbirds in my garden this morning. They were stuck together. It turns out they were Velcros.
That's stupid.
Redemption.
No.
Yes, absolute
No.
redemption. Taking that one. Throwing up the claim and everything.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, that is going to do
That's
it.
it? Okay, good.
That's going to do it for episode 90. How about that? A 90-minute episode 90.
Wow.
Pushing it.
We
pushing
did
it.
talk
Pretty
for
close.
a long time.
We are off next week for Labor Day. We'll be back. But again, if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you'll know when the next episode goes up. And make sure you give us a follow on the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi on Air. Luke and Naomi on Air everywhere. If you Google us,
We come up.
we come up. That's right. Until episode 91. 91.
Yep.
How about that?
Getting old.
Have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.